Okay, so I'm going to try to provide this so everybody has an opportunity with this. How do we navigate this course? So I've made a few different choices from some of your other classes in Canvas. I'm sure we've all made our own different choices. Here in the Math Zone, and for me specifically, and I think generally across this institution, we've chopped things into modules. You can think of modules any way you wish. You can think of it as a unit. You can think of it as a chapter. It depends on your point of view. It doesn't matter. It's semantics, right? If you're using the word module, that's going to be consistent, I think, across most if not all of your courses. So module 1 and 2 variable equations. So we're going to look at that first because it's going to show you about the math, what's going on in the math in this math course. So pretty much every single one of these modules, of which there are 4, you're going to have an introduction, and I'll do my best to give you something interesting to read and to look at that's an overview of the topic, and hopefully it won't be too super long. Like this one is not very super long. There's actually links to this software, and you can install. These are all mouse clicks, but you can read about that later. And each one then rolls through, has your learning outcomes, and then each unit has a each module has a pre-module or pre-unit or pre-topic journal entry. So these are, before you start doing any of the math work, asking you questions, you respond to that. It's worth some points, in this case this semester 15 points, but grades, etc. Then after that, you'll roll to, all right. Okay. So within Canvas and in my course, I've taken advantage of this. The main kernel that you're going to use to navigate and function within a course or this course is these things called modules. And so we have for your purposes, we have 4, 5, 6 modules here. This first module is an orientation module. It sort of lays out some of the things that I would say if I didn't have that. I'm not going to put them in this video. I'm going to put some specific things in this video that is not so much that's covered in there, okay? But I'm going to tell you that Canvas looks at things as modules. You can think of them as chapters because Canvas really wants you to look at this thing sort of like a book. If you'll notice, when I open this module, and let's say go to the first page, each one of your modules for my course will have an introduction like this and some other information that's related to the topics in the module. And I have this one written. If we get to the end, you'll see that I don't have one written for the second unit or the second module. So instructor resources, that's unpublished. That's for me. I'm going to put everything that I use for you guys in here. I'll be searching for those things, but they'll be there for when I teach the class in the future time. I don't have to go search for them again because for most lessons I have things already. I have a giant Desmos page, and I can link them here, and I can get there quickly when we go to interact during our any kind of synchronous time. All right. You're going to get learning objectives for that particular module. Since a module is multiple sections, it's fairly comprehensive. This first item is a journal entry. It's a pre-unit journal entry. So it's before you start digging into the topics. You want to tell me, you're going to answer these questions, and I will get a view of what you recall, etc. And we tried to put this little navigation image in each module because the 4 academic modules or content modules in this course kind of consist of this flow. There's the pre-journal, there's learning content, and then practice in Hawks, which I'll share with you. But that cycles through because for each section you're going to have new content, practice, new content, practice, new content, practice, new content, practice. This one's highlighted yellow because it's the pre-journal entry. After that, you get to a discussion. After that, you get to a post-unit journal. Post-unit journal. The questions are much more different, and they're probably more difficult. They need your quite a bit more work and attention to complete them. They're more thorough than these. And then you'll have a quiz on the topics that we learned in the unit, okay, or the module. So this one's the pre-unit discussion. You would hit reply and put your response in there. Hit next. This is content. So this is content for the section 1.1a. And this particular video is not mine, but it's certainly sufficient. There are PowerPoints that Hawks provided, so maybe that's better, easier for you. There are additional resources that another instructor has built out, and then you can return back to this. I didn't have time to get rid of these. This actually goes, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to a dead page. Oh, it goes to that, which I deleted. You don't see that. It's a kind of a table of contents, but that's just not how Hawks thinks about it. How Hawks thinks about it is like it is a chapter, and in that chapter we have pages, and they just want you to navigate from one page to the next. Now this will take us right into Hawks. Should work. Worked for me earlier today. Takes us right into Hawks, directly to the section that we're working on. And once you finish that, you can navigate all day inside Hawks and learn how to do that and figure out how to work with that. And I'll have another video that talks about that. Or you can close out and go to, it was there, I don't know what. That's it. And it'll come back to here, and all you do is hit next. Once you hit next, here's the content for the next section, 1.2a. So 3 videos, PowerPoint, additional resources, and back to that. Again, I'm going to remove these, so you just need to hit next. That's the link to Hawks to work on these topics. And then videos for the next section and other resources to practice and certify for that section. Resources to learn any of the topics for that section, etc. So that's how this works. And you'll see, if we go back to the home page, you'll see that that's what this cycle is. Content, Hawks, content, Hawks, content, Hawks, etc. for the rest of the time. There are little things inserted to prompt you about some questions and give you more information. Once you've finished all the Hawks work, you should be ready to take the quiz. But we have a couple of things. This is inserted here to remind you should be getting together with me for office hours. M1 discussion, that's your discussion assignment. That's the largest assignment in any particular unit. Notice how it's 50 points. And then your M1 journal entry. And that's the post-unit journal entry. Now the quiz, it says 0 points, but that's not quite correct. This quiz link will do 2 things for you. You'll go to the quiz. It'll get you to here. This refers to a file in the orientation that tells you about how to embed files or upload files. So you're about to take your first assignment in Hawks Learning. You must show all work on paper, take photos, pictures of this work, and upload blah, blah, blah. This again refers you back to how do you upload files, etc. Now, failure to upload your work can result in a 0 on this quiz. So think about it. You do the quiz and you get 100, but you don't upload any work. I reserve the right to give you a 0. Now, to get to the quiz itself, you do this. This is going to take you to Hawks. Then you can start your quiz. When you're done, close that. Close that, and it'll walk you back to here, and this is where you can upload this file. Okay? So I'm not a student, so it's not giving me the upload button, but you are going to get an upload button. Okay? When you're done with that, that's pretty much the last thing in the module. And so you can either use this to navigate to module 2, or you can just hit next. It's going to go right to module 2. Like if you were in a textbook, it's going to move over to chapter 2, right? And then it all starts all over again. M2 introduction, which again, I'll put some math content in there because I prefer that rather than the memes. Your pre-unit journal entry, content, and guess what's next? Link to the Hawk stuff. And then what do you think? More content for the next section. Links for the Hawk stuff, right? So hopefully you got the picture, and if we go back home, you'll see that each of the modules are exactly like that. So this one, content, Hawks, content, Hawks, content, Hawks, office hour appointment reminder. Maybe you're not going to do it that week. No big deal. Hit the next button. Discussions for that unit or that module. Post-unit journal entry. Post-module journal entry. Your quiz looks exactly the same, so don't get baffled by the 0 points. Hit quiz. It'll give you that'll be the page where you upload your work, but it also then is the link to the quiz itself. And then your midterm's a little different. It's just the submission of your midterm. Module 3 is the same, just the content's different. And Module 3 is very short in this course. Module 4 is the last module, and we don't have a discussion question or discussion set of questions in there, and that's it. So Hawks thinks about things as pages, and these pages are organized by chapters if you wish, but we call them modules. It's actually Canvas that calls them modules. Okay? And that's generally it. Now, I've chosen to not have a kind of a home page with a bunch of pictures and stuff. I'd rather get you right here. So there's two things about that. This link will always stay here. There are announcements, but I'm really not going to use the announcements page because Canvas's announcement page is annoying as all get out. So here are useful links. Click that. You can get to link with Zoom. So when we start class, if you're in a synchronous class, you're going there. If you're coming to see me for office hours, you can come here and hit this link and go to Zoom and Zoom with me. This Calendly is where you would join me for your office hour appointments, etc., of which I want 5 in the semester. And then this, math and other questions answered, gets you to a discussion board, which I've addressed in a different video. Okay? You do not have any of these links. See, these eyeballs are all crossed out. You can't see those. You'll have this stack of links here and these down here. Zoom will get you over to, I believe, previous Zoom recordings. So all of our courses, all of our classes will be recorded and thrown up into Zoom. I believe, again, I've not used this tab. We had a separate thing and I had to do it manually, but now this is kind of cool, hopefully. All of my stuff will be automatically in Zoom, but if you want to show things for just this course, it'll be here, which I believe means that when I go to start Zoom for our class, I have to use this link or else it doesn't know what section, which is fine. I just have to remember. Another very, very useful, you can navigate all these things, which is great, but I think this page is particularly useful. Other than the home page, which gets you right to the modules, etc., and your work in sequential order, you can also go to the syllabus and get a great overview. Here's our percent breakdown for all of our grades. Here is our syllabus right here, which no longer has any due dates or anything in it because the due dates are here in the calendar. They're in this calendar. It's an active calendar, and you can click and go directly to those pages with the links to Hawks if you want. And these are all things that are graded items, and they should be organized by the date that they're due. Now, I'm having a little issue with the synchronization, so that's why I delayed some things to get this up and running. Hopefully that's not true for future semester or future terms when I use this video again, because I don't anticipate changing a whole lot. So that's kind of the gist of it, and if you have any questions, I guess we'll figure it out on the first day of class. All right?